and all the ministers have accepted this to annul all agreements with the UAE in order to save the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Somalia. I can start with appreciating the UAE, the support they have been providing to Somalia. But what we have found out lately is that the support that UAE was providing to Somalia is also, on the other hand, they are also involved in some activities that are risking the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia. And rather than accepting such support, we opted to have our sovereignty intact, and we made the decision today following a cabinet meeting that was held in Mogadishu. The actions we have found out is that the UAE was involved in trying to violate and undermine the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia, and we have evidences of different accounts, and that's why the Somali government decided to have that decision today in order to save the sovereignty of Somalia instead of accepting a support that is risking our sovereignty. And it's a decision that is in effect that is starting today after it has been reached by the cabinet. At this moment, we don't want to give more details on that, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs will give some details while communicating with UAE directly in order to convey this message. But what we found out through our networks is that there were a lot of activities that UAE was involved in trying to undermine the sovereignty of Somalia, and that was unacceptable to the Somali government and to the people of Somalia. This was definitely done by the Somali cabinet members. They voted, and there was a debate on that, and after the debate it has been agreed that a vote has to take place, and all the ministers have accepted this to annul all agreements with the UAE in order to save the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Somalia. There was no any pressure from outside that compelled us to make this decision. Regarding the case that you have mentioned, we have started investigation after these reports came out about Yemeni separatists who have been flown out from Yemen to Somalia and then taken out from Somalia. We are making some investigation on that after getting all those reports. What we believe is that the UAE was involved in activities undermining the Somali sovereignty, and that's why we made this decision. We don't want to give more details. There will be some other information that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will give out later. Somalia has got a central government, and any such a decision and any such an agreement has to be signed by the federal government of Somalia or with the consent of the federal government of Somalia. So all these have been annulled, and they don't have any consent from the federal government of Somalia. The government of Somalia has the legality to make such decisions, and we are in control of all these ports. So anything to do with those ports without the government consent will be illegal. That will not affect the Somali economy because many other channels will be open, and these ports will be operating by using other means, but not with the agreements with the UAE. Definitely, Somalia has got agreements with other countries. We have trade deals with different countries, so those will continue. In our statement issued by the cabinet, it was clear that Somalia is ready to have mutual agreements with different countries, but it has to respect the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Somalia. That's what Somalia needs to make sure that if it's having any international agreement or deal, it has to respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia.